Okay, so this we're putting our tea set to sleep. Okay, and I'm using again. It's just the repeat of our using the hot water to clean the tea set. A very important part of your tea session. Never leave your tea set unclean. So we wipe it down with the tea towel to dry and remove any kind of tea stain. Okay. So I'm starting with the guy one. I normally start with the vessel that's more exposed to the tea leaves because the staining is more apparent with the guy one and the Gangdao Bay. Uh, for the teacups, not so much. That's why I pour in hot water in between the sessions to rinse off any if I see any kind of staining of the tea. I see the tea accumulating at the bottom and forming like some sort of watermarks or tea marks. I immediately address that by pouring hot water on the teacups so that it won't be stained. So I keep my tea towel handy and using the Gangdao Bay, again, I rinse the rest of the tea set. I turn over the filter to get the tea leaves out. Okay, remove the tea leaves. That's basically what I'm doing. And then just wipe it out. Be very careful with the filter because the metal screen is very thin at the bottom. So there, clean this filter very very gently. Just make sure to make an effort to clean the bottom part. This is where most of the staining is apparent because the tea drips down to the tea holder. So again, that I addressed that while in my tea session. Okay, so I'm also cleaning the tea holder, making sure there's no leaves left behind. Because if I'm gonna be brewing a different type of tea, we don't want some, old tea leaves mixing in, and then as well as, of course, being hygienic. You don't want tea leaves to be sitting around your teaware because pests might try to nibble on it. So it's important to clean everything. So I'm cleaning the lid. Again, this is also prone to staining, especially the sides of the lid. I often see a lot of tea tea particle accumulation on the side. So I'm very particular on that. Okay, and wipe it dry so that it's easy to store. Normally, after cleaning, you would either put it on a tea display. If you have a tea display like a cabinet or a rack, a tea set display would be good. But in my case, I have my daughter got me a box where I can put my tea set, so I put it in the box. Before I just display it right in the open, but I noticed that it's accumulating dust and cat fur. So just to be hygienic, I try to store. Since I have a cat, we have a cat at home, which sometimes shed fur, and I notice it getting on the tea set. And every time we use the tea set, it's hard to wake up the tea set with all the fur on the teacup. So I decided to keep my tea set in a box. Okay. Not on its original box because when it was shipped here from China, it came in a styrofoam type of packaging in order to safely ship the teaware. So we didn't really have the box, but my daughter was lucky enough to get a box I can use to store my tea set. The tea set looks like a toy when I first got it, and was like, uh, I felt like I'm asking myself, is this like a little girl plaything? But actually, it's a legitimate tea set. It really is that size, you know, because the idea is tea tasting, not really tea drinking. It's tea tasting. So the idea is to take sips to enjoy the flavor of the tea. That's why the teacups are small, the utensils are small. It's not really for like wine that has bigger vessels. Okay, so I've rinsed the teacups from the bottom and side to side. Okay, so the tea pets still come into play when you're putting your tea set to rest, wherein you can pour on your tea set the water that you use for rinsing your and sanitizing your tea set. Okay, last but not the least, the Gangdao Bay still has hot water in it. Um, and the hot water goes to my tea pets. There you go. And then just wipe it from the bottom, okay, and the sides. Now, you see, I'm digging on the sides because sometimes tea marks are left there, so I'm very particular on that. And also at the spout area where the tea flows, okay, try to address that. And of course, you know, try to clean the insides. Don't worry if it really doesn't come off, because most of the time tea particles really settle on the Gangdao Bay. Now that's for a ceramic Gangdao Bay, but nowadays Gangdao Bays are made out of glass, so they're easy to clean. But even glass can stain as well. It's just not that visible because it's transparent. But it still stains. If you don't clean it regularly, it would look dirty. Okay. Okay, so it's about around 6 p.m. and see the sun is already setting. So that's part of the appeal on drinking afternoon tea. Normally, I drink during uh, sunrise and set it up where it's a little bit dark around 5 a.m. I'm already preparing the tea set. But my daughter wakes up